working here, but leave a message. Smiley face. I will check comments. Well, where do I start with this one? This is a long story, and it really starts with, how do I say this without making my customer mad? Not mad. Mark is a good guy, okay? Mark is my customer. And he lives in Idaho, or this house, he's going to build a house in Idaho. And they have snow loads up there. And it's kind of, it's not funny. It's just, oh, where do you start? The internet is a double-edged sword. You know, there's so much information that is false and misleading and just downright just leads people to paths that they you know. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet, get myself in trouble, as I always do. But Mark had actually I think he actually signed a contract for a Quonset hut. This was his original model that he and his brother came up with. This is the arch that I ended up drawing based on the company's drawings here. So you could see they have this graph that shows at certain, at 1 foot intervals what the height of the arch is. And so I drew that out and created the profile. And so I came up with, and it's similar to the Metal Pro Buildings profile, but the arch is different. The radius and all the angles are different. The radians are different. And so the first thing we had to deal with was the fact that the arch had a lower height to it. So anyway, we came up with this idea of raising it up, and I didn't want any wall. I wanted a very lateral resistant, because these arches are bad. They push out on your walls. Anyway, how can I make this long story short? Anyway, the company somehow the question of snow load came up for Mark's area, and the company kind of went back on their original idea that this arch would work. I think they said it was good for 60 some odd pounds per square foot, and apparently there's anywhere between 72 and 80 or whatever. It's a higher snow load than what the building was rated for. So the company kind of went back and said, no, we can only provide a building that's 40 feet wide. Anyway, long story short, Mark and I had a discussion about the whole Quonset thing, and I have always thought that they were kind of like shipping containers. They're kind of a novelty for living in, and because they're best suited for military barracks, and garages and barns and whatever, because they tend to leak. And anyway, you see, I'm going to have all the Reddit users in China on me, so I better have to be quiet. Excuse me. So anyway, it was my advice to Mark was that this is kind of like shipping containers, in that the cost of insulating them and all of that, trying to put windows in, the window kits are weird, and they rely on sealants. I don't like. Here's the number one thing, okay? If you want to build a house, if you want to build a good house, never rely on caulk for anything, okay? You should always have positive drainage as far as water comes down, it hits metal flashing, it goes somewhere, okay? Don't ever rely on caulk to seal up your house, okay? If you see a video where somebody is having to caulk something and it's not just to make it look pretty, something is wrong. I saw a guy who was building a cabin in the woods yesterday. I'm not going to point out his channel. He had already put the T111 siding on his cabin, and he was mounting the windows over the face of the siding. No Tyvek, no window tape, no flashing, nothing. And I'll caulk the top of it. So, and people like that, will be the first ones to go buy a cheap box, a cheap case of caulk too, and that caulk will dry up, crack, and the first thing you know, you've got leaks. But how did I get off on a cabin in the woods? Let's see, and it's probably good that it's early on Saturday morning. It's not that early, is it? I started out early because what I was trying to do was cobble together. So long story short, because the company wanted to kind of go back on their original deal, Mark was able to get out of it. My brother's name was Mike. That's why I said Mike. Mark was able to get out of that deal, and I could tell he was a little disappointed, but had kind of high hopes for the future. And I want to make this whole experience better for him. So I thought what I would do is just the other thing we had a discussion about, Mark and I, was, orientating, the way the home is orientated on the lot. You want to pay attention to where south and east is, and you want to pay attention to what spaces that you have exposed to those directions. And so I'm gonna lay out a floor plan that I think works for his site, and also the amount of space that he needs. He doesn't want a whole lot of space. You can see, what is this thing? Oh, that's the roof. I'm gonna turn that off. You can see that his brother is an architect. He did a pretty good job. I actually like the flow of this floor plan, and they wanted a garage kind of incorporated. So I'm kind of doing this for Mark, but I like to share things with other, with viewers. So I'm gonna try to cobble this together quickly, and I thought I would start out basing it on my I'm sorry a 30-foot width. Let's see, 29 feet 4 inches, and I've got how wide is this? That was at 40 feet. I was looking at the span tables on the TGIs, and I think I'm going to try to get he just wants a single car garage. Now this is going to be more of a linear design than it is going to be a fat rectangle. So what about this house? Is way too, I think I've got the scale of this. Yeah, it's not going to, the scale of this image is kind of big. I'm going to take it down. Take her down so to more like what it should be. Let's get in our view mode here. So I'm just going to start off with a 2x6 wall, 6.5. And I'm just going to pop me a line right here. Start out with the garage. And let's see what I had the depth on the garage before. Yeah. We're going to start out with 26 feet. We're going to see. I like 26 feet for a garage. I don't like 24. 24 doesn't give you enough room to put workbenches at the end and still be able to walk around like a truck. If you've got a little Volkswagen, it's fine. Then I had, I think 14. Yeah, 14, kind of a minimum on the garage. But this is going to be based on, I think what I'm going to do is, what was this? I think we're going to go ahead and branch out and say that I can get by with a 30-foot width. And because I was looking at the TJI span tables, and we can use download span comparison. This is a cool table. It's got this different manufacturers, and Blue Links is who we generally get our stuff from, but I don't know where. I would say, look at that Boise. I wonder if that's Boise, Idaho. I bet it is. Let's see, 11 7/8 at 16 inches on center. Yeah, you see, we can go. What is this? I wonder what deflection that is. Is that over 480? Let's go back to. Let's exit out of this and let's go to the TGI one and see what L over 480 gives me. Because I like to design to the (11 7/8) at 16 inch. So we can easily, if we just go up to, we can actually use a 9.5 inch. Yeah, and that's what we'll start out. What I'm thinking is that the way that the lumber prices are working out now, and I'm gonna check this on Monday, is I think we can go to a WI joist, these truss joists, about as cheap as we can 2x10. So I'm gonna figure that out on Monday. It certainly would allow us to have a better span. So I'm going to start off with 30 feet. The main thing I'm trying to do is get this house down to a 2-span joist configuration. So did I go 30 feet? I did. And that'll also give us a little more room, because I'm going to suggest that the master bedroom is back here. And then we will go 6.5 this way, and we'll see what we have left over. Yeah, let's do that. Let's start out with that. And then we want to have, this is funny because I just took a bunch of little, you can see how segmented all this is. I took a bunch of little elements out of several floor plans and cobbled them together. That's why I named the video this, because I just took some elements, some rooms, and put them. You can see here I flipped this one around based on the orientation. That's what you want to do. You want to work on your adjacencies based on where you want your sun exposure, and where your living areas are and all that. Your garage can be on the north side. Your secondary and tertiary bedrooms, your utility, your kitchen, all that kind of stuff can be on the north side. You want your main living areas on the south and the east. And of course this would be, let's see, am I facing the right? This is north, east, south, and west. think I'm doing this right. I gotta. North is right. That's south. Yeah. See if we got any. Hope you're feeling well. Thank you, Braden. I don't know why I have a little a plumbing extension. Can I give you some advice? Don't get caught up in putting pipes in the wall, and when I start laying out, I have a this is not one of my. This is I just have some 2-dimensional items that are actual size. Obviously you want them to be accurate, but I wouldn't get caught up in the minutia of where. I tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, 40 years in construction and 30 years in design work, and you can get caught up in the minutia of I've had people ask me to do show where wires are going to go and all this kind of stuff. That's just I'm not being critical, but I guess it depends on what you're trying to do with your plumbing extension. I would just, if you're trying to lay out a plan, I would just lay it out in 2 dimensions in a 2-dimensional plan. Keep it simple and then just go build it. Get a good plumber. Don't try to do it yourself. Just for God's sakes, hire a plumber, hire an electrician, hire an HVAC guy. If you want to learn how to do plumbing because you want to be a plumber, that's one thing. But see, I get myself in trouble with these things because I know what's. I'm like a doctor of construction. I know what's best for people, but they don't want to ever listen to me. So I don't know why I'm not being like fussy or anything. I just. And you're like, yeah, you are. Like, no, keep it simple. Lay it out and just go build it. Get out of the drawing. Get out of this cat. I only do this because I have to, okay? People have the wrong impression about me. I would rather much be right now on the construction site building something than doing this, okay? And you should approach your plumbing that way too. You should say, I just need enough of a drawing. I could build this house. If I was building this house, I just use this little JPEG graphic to do it with. I don't need anything else. That's all I need, But since I have to do this for other people, I have to lay it out to make sure they understand and make sure, other contractors understand. But I wouldn't get caught up. Now, you're going to tell me, well, I need it for this. Yes, I understand. We have a plumber. Okay, that's good. That's good. Are you trying to... what is your goal for the plumbing extension? Because I swear, if you have SketchUp or any other CAD program, just go search 2D plumbing. Okay. Go to models, and you can find all these 2-dimensional graphic, and just laid out. You need, if you need help with the size, for a toilet, minimum 30 inches, but I like to have 36. You need 5 feet for a standard tub shower. It's 32 to 34 inches wide. If you have a double vanity, it's going to be at least 5 feet by 2 feet. So if you'll get, there's also resources you can get that architectural graphic standards. And then you can add to that plumbing, and then you can click on images, and you'll find all the information that you need. See here, tub, and it'll give you a range. So all the information all the basic information you need to lay out your bathroom is available to you. And I would just pick out the model, go to Home Depot, pick out your tub, and then, I don't know if you've ever, tubs, Home Depot. You pick out your tub. Oh, isn't that funny? If normally I'd have 20,000 tubs at Home Depot. Let's see. Oh, I said Tub Depot. No wonder. Oh, I said Home Depot tubs. All right. Why is it that every time I want to show somebody something? Here we go. Let's go here. Say your wife picks this out because it's expensive and she's just mad at you, so she's going to pick out the most expensive tub she can find. If you go right down here, specification, right? It'll tell you how wide the tub is. See, 60. It'll tell you where the center of the drain is. It'll tell you everything you need to know in 2 dimensions, right? You take this cut sheet, you hand it to your plumber. Okay? And that's really, then I'll stop hounding on that. I'll be honest with you. The reason I'm saying that is because I have myself personally gotten caught up in the minutia of extensions, and I only use them. I only actually deal with CAD. I deal with this as little as I can, and I even try to get homeowners not to. The reason I don't charge very much is because I try to limit the amount of work that they pay for. And if they say, well, I want to see what my kitchen looks like in 3D, well, anyway, I'm going to stop preaching. Why do I find myself preaching? You people get me to preaching. I've always been interested in plumbing, building Quonset. I see, don't do it, Scott. Don't do it, man. What I'm doing right now, you know what I'm doing? Is I'm converting the floor plan that his brother came up for the Quonset hut into a normal house. Oh, see, son, baby, be careful. Into a normal house, because that's what we're going to build. Because these are a money pit, okay? They're a money pit, and it's what I started out by saying. The internet is caused so much disease in the minds of people. It's sad, really. It really is. Now I'm gonna stop preaching and try to get this floor plan laid out. So we're gonna want at least, I'm gonna say at least 6 feet. I may not be able to do this because it takes a certain amount of concentration that I obviously can't achieve because I'm rambling about other stuff. Yes, I understand. I have a plumber. Well, what do you want to do? What do you want to do with your plumbing extension, Braden? If I didn't make you mad and you left. Let's see. Let's get an idea of how. Let's just try to get some spaces worked out. This bathroom's going to be another 5 feet. 5 feet. 4.5. This bedroom is going to be at least 12. Let's go 13 feet. And 4.5. Then our kitchen is going to be at least this part of the house. We want that to be at least like 16, and I'm gonna 16 feet. Then I'm gonna check my overall length and see what it is, and then I start to 68. That's quite a length. That's quite long. Let's go back to this 26. Well, right there is you can get by with probably 26 feet here. we're going to try to start off with 66 feet. And we're going to budget. Because if we had, and why my line's not overlaying? My line's not on the same plane. Look at that. I wonder how that happens. That seems, so what I like to do, I just like to rough it out and get my walls to 0.5. I mean, if you just took that square footage, that would be 1875. So what we might do is let the garage stick out and then try to put some of that square footage back into the house. Let's see what we got. It's I made Braden and Scott mad. They left. Oh, hey Richard, how's it going? Well, it's okay. I think what I'm going to do here to give this house a little interest is to take this out at least 4 feet. And then if they don't like that, we will do something else. What did I do? This is, yeah, this is supposed to come out like this. This should go like this. Don't understand that. Let's see. All right. Then we'll have some kind of, the other thing about the 26 feet is it gives you a way to have a little step or some kind of little entry into the house without taking up a lot of room. How am I going to do this? No, I'm still here trying to get the concrete guy what he needs to form up. Well, all you need to do is lay it out on paper like this, and then take and dimension it. You know, I don't dimension anything in SketchUp. I do it in, but I think there is a dimension tool in SketchUp. Where is it? I don't use it because I do my dimensioning in the layout. But you know, if you and you really want to keep it simple for the plumber too. You know, you would have a dimension, you know, here, and then you would tell him how how thick this wall is. And see, this is why I don't dimension in SketchUp, because it sucks. But you would, let's just go to, since this is going to be a long and boring video anyway, I might as well just extend it out and show you what I'm talking about. And layout is what we use in, as far as SketchUp goes. In architecture, we don't do dimensioning in model space. We do dimensioning in paper space, where we set up our sheets. And this is, here we go, this might be a good example. So what we do in paper space is we set up our sheet 24 by 36. Okay, let's go to the floor plan. And you see this sheet here is 24 by 36. It's got the title bar on it, all this stuff. If you'll notice, now here's a good example. I haven't completely finished dimensioning this. I went around the perimeter dimensioning it. But if I was going to tell the plumber, I would just have a very simple plan, because plumbers they're kind of thick in the brain, but they're not stupid. Okay, all you need to do is tell him what you're doing here, right? So you need to tell him that you've got the size of your tub. Let's move the bathtub, and they know what to do. All you got to do is tell them what you got, right? So just do it real simple. You see, and this is a small bathroom, right? You tell him this is 5 feet. This is, 3 feet, whatever. Then that's like I said, it's a small bathroom. You just dimension it for him. That's all. And you can do this by hand. You can draw this out, and then all you need to do is if this is a slab, you would take a dimension from the edge of your slab and go up to the bathroom. And as long as you're clear about what you're dimensioning, like you would say, okay, this is a 6.5 inch wall, right? It might be a 4.5 inch wall. It might be a 6.5 inch wall, whatever it is. And then you would have a dimension that way, and you would also, when I'm doing a slab layout, I'll do dimensions just for the plumber. So I would hit this wall, and then, so he knows it's 35 feet 11 from the outside of the slab. He knows this wall 6.5 inches. He knows where the bathroom starts from this way. So you're triangulating it, and then all he needs to know is, the size of the fixtures. Whenever you say extension to me in SketchUp, it makes me think you want to try to show the plumber in 3 dimensions, some sort of rendering, which he doesn't need. I've built hundreds of houses off of the back of a piece of notebook paper. Get a bit of rain here, so I'm indoor today. We've had a pretty good, my plumber who is with me is agreeing with you. Tell me he's your brother, right? That's funny. Yeah, you don't need no stinking fancy plumbing extension. Your PC sounds like a jet. Really? How does it sound like a jet? Have I got the microphone too close to the, let's see, what have I got? Desktop audio going, microphone. That's weird. Now, I'll tell you, the CAD programs really work your, the fan runs constantly, But anyway, the most important thing about plumbing is to have your fixture, pick out your fixtures, okay? Especially your tubs. There's a lot of tubs that don't have center drains on them. They'll have offset center, a lot of the modern tubs. No, I just hear it in the background. They, a lot of these modern tubs, like these freestanding tubs, they'll have offset drains on them sometimes. if I just pick out one. Again, your wife's just going to pick out an expensive one because she can, and then she'll fuss at you if you say anything about it. Now, look at that. That's funny. The first one I picked has a center drain to it, but some of them will have the drain over here on the sides, and your plumber can tell you. He knows that. So you really just need to pick out the tub, and this is what we call a cut sheet. Download this cut sheet, whatever it is. Then your toilet. Toilets are pretty standard. You'll have like a 12 or 12.5 inch offset from the wall. You know, so toilets are pretty standard, and the vanity's pretty standard. On the vanity, you just need to tell him whether you're going to use, a center drain or offset. Some of the 4-foot vanities will have drawers on the side, which means your drain needs to be offset to one side or the other. But since your plumber's there, he can. I'm surprised your plumber didn't tell you. If he's with you, you don't need no stinking plumbing extension. Yes, okay. I need to do some work, don't I? This is a little bit difficult because I just cobbled this together and I haven't actually decided 100% all this stuff. So I feel like this needs to be more than 6 feet, but I'm just going to make it 6 feet. I can make my interior walls 4.5 inches. And then I've got to do this bathroom here, 5 feet, 4.5. I think what I'm going to do on that is I'm going to run this middle wall This comes into the hallway. I need to be able to get into the, how long is this? 22. If we're going to have a master bath, that's 5 and 8 feet. We need at least 8 feet here. And then we would have a wall. And then this 14. Okay, so then we need to come out another 3'6". And let's see, how are we going to do this? Do we want our hallway to be? We want our hallway to be right here. So let's make it 42 inches. Make it 43. In case we have to get a door in the end. And this is kind of shooting from the hip a little bit here. We come in, we can go that way or we can keep going. And then does this give us enough room for a bedroom? Not really. Sometimes if I get bogged down in a little hub right there, I'll start from the other end. And this kitchen needs to be at least 12. This needs to be at least 16. Or at least 14. Let's start off with 14.6. That's looking a little better. I've got another bedroom. The bedroom needs to be, that bedroom needs to be at least 12 feet this way. And then does that give us enough room for a closet? Yep. But I don't like this dimension. I don't understand why my construction line seems to be, construction line is not even in the right spot. 6.5. It's the line that's not in the right spot. Wow. Holy cow. I don't know how. It's a good thing I noticed that. That would have been tragic. I would have found that a lot later on. And did I move this into? Yeah, okay. 6.5 is a 5.5 inch stud, which in Idaho you'd want for an exterior wall for insulation. You got 1/2 inch OSB and 1/2 inch drywall. And I like to show my walls at true thickness, and it kind of drives my framer a little bit crazy, but that's okay because I'm there with him when he's laying out to remind him that the walls are full thickness. But if somebody wants to know what size bedroom they have, you don't have to guess. That's what size room it is. So the only thing what is that noise? The only thing I don't like is this 10-foot width. I've got to do something about that on this bedroom. So if we have any more comments. He did. I'll be back. Did you think a Quonset hut would make a good shop garage? Yeah, been thinking about the thing that Quonset huts are bad about is honestly just leaking. And so and the other thing is if you can get them down, if you can get this juncture at the biggest, oh God, there's so much to say about the Quonset hut. Okay, so the biggest problem, and this company, honestly, Curve Co. is kind of taking care of this a little bit. A lot of these companies will expect you to have a slab that has a notch in it and it shows up. If you watch that metal building, that Metal Pro building animation I did, you'll see that the slab is notched out. It creates a trench. So if you don't completely seal that trench with grout, then water gets in that trench and backs up on the inside of your house or garage or shop. Okay, so what Curve Co. did was they came up with this big piece of Z flashing base plate thing, and this bolts down to the concrete, and then your panels bolt to this, and then there's brackets. I don't have it all shown because I was just in kind of schematic mode because we had just gotten started. The first thing I did was draw these Quonset. Now, so to answer your question, yeah, I mean, if this is sitting down on a slab, and you got a turn down slab, and it's like this, where you got this on the edge of the slab, they're fine, right? But I would never, and I even told Metal Pro Buildings, I would never, in a million years, I thought that they could, and we'll just go Metal Pro Buildings. And, where is it? Quonset models. They got my innovation video here somewhere. It's on YouTube. And Quonset gallery, Quonset models. And I'm going to fuss at them because they need to put this in a better place where people can get to it. Let's just go to YouTube. Pro Buildings, and right here's my video. Cool, it came up. It's got 13,000 views already. That's cool. They did this. Now let me go turn down the. I've learned this the hard way. Okay, desktop audio. Okay, so if you go to the part in the animation, let's see if we can find it. Go all the way through all this stuff. Okay, here's where I'm filling it up full of concrete. And you take off the forms, and when you take off the forms, you see that notch in the slab? That's old school, and I would never do that. And I even told this company, I said, please let me show this the way people would actually build it. The way they would actually build it in modern days would be, you would take this base plate and you would set this down on the edge of a turn down slab. We raised this up because he wanted the ceiling height higher. Right? But then if you go further into my animation, which is awesome, I have to say, you will see what you have to do. Here we go, right there. You'll see that in order to seal that trench, you gotta freaking grout it, and you gotta grout it on the inside too, right? There's my little trowel grouting, put the grout down. But what the problem that people have had with these is they leak because water gets in here. After you grout it, you got to go around and caulk all this, and you never want to rely on caulk for sealant. Okay, you want to rely on what I call positive flashing. Okay, this is positive flashing, where the water comes down, it has nowhere to go except off the edge of this wall. Okay. Maybe if you had a big snowstorm in Idaho, and this is one thing I brought up to Mark, and you had snow piling up on this big ledge, and then you had ice damming where the warmth from the inside of the building melts the back of the snow, and it creates an ice dam where the water doesn't have anywhere to go but the path of least resistance, which sometimes is inside your building instead of outside your building. So no, I don't think Quonset huts are good for living in. Just like I don't think shipping containers are. If you want to see that video, it's shipping containers make no sense. CENTS. But for a garage or a shop, I got too much stuff going on here now, don't I? They work fine. Yeah, the Quonset hut kits are inexpensive for a reason. They're after you get them up, they're money pits. Okay, unless you're doing a garage or shop or something. Okay, but what you'll find out is if you start to use it for a residence, and then you have to get into building codes, and just like this company went back on their original quote to the customer that it would withstand the snow loads. If you go watch some videos of these panels being put up, okay, you'll see people standing on top of them. You'll see the panels. You'll see the whole building flexing. Okay, you'll see it bending down with people standing on top of it. I was watching a video of a group of people who were putting one together, and at the end they got together for a group picture, and like 3 or 4 of them were standing up here, and the arch like flattened out on top. So you can imagine a snow in Idaho or Montana or Alaska building up on there would not be copacetic. Wouldn't be cool. So what I'm trying to do here is we're trying to get off the Quonset bandwagon and get back on the. This is what I told the homeowner yesterday on the phone. If Quonset, if anything in life makes sense, people will do it. Okay, I'm talking about on an economic scale. If Quonset huts were economical, then every spec builder in America would be building Quonset huts. All you have to do is look at what spec builders are doing in America to find out what is economically viable in America. When I say spec houses, I'm talking about builders who build sort of lower grade houses for sale to people on the market, speculative housing. That's where we come up with the term spec house. Okay, it's kind of a gauge of what is economical. So it's like vinyl siding, which I hate, became a popular exterior for spec houses because it was economical and it looked okay. It was easy to install. It made sense, right? Well, if Quonset huts made sense, you would have whole subdivisions. It would look like a military base. Okay, you would have subdivisions that look like military bases, but you don't, because they are money pits. And the reason they are money pits for spec builders is because of the same reason they would be for you. Because when you get ready to insulate it, you're automatically forced into spray foam insulation. If you don't spray foam insulation on a Quonset hut, you're asking for a lot of trouble. You'll have a lot of condensation on the inside of the building when you turn on your air conditioner. And y'all are really distracting me with this Quonset thing because I need to be laying out this floor plan. Thanks for the insight, Tony. Well, I do get a little rambunctious. What's the word? Because I have so many people, and the internet is the worst. Really, the internet is like a place to try out hell. If before you go there, and it's just really, there's so many people who talk on the internet and they don't know anything about what they're talking about, and they will do things, and people will look at that and say, "Oh, that's cool. I want to do that." And it's just it can be and that's why I make these videos, and that's why I talk to people and I do my preaching, because I want people to plan. I don't want you to go and buy a Quonset kit because it's cheap and put it up and then go talk to your plumber and electrician and HVAC guy and your insulation guy and figure out how you're going to deal with that now, right? Because they will just laugh at you. They'll say, "Ha ha, he bought a Quonset hut." Ha ha. The price will go up automatically. Your insulation guy, "Oh boy, Quonset hut." Plumber, electrician, "Where would you like for me to run these wires for your light fixtures?" Can you duct tape them to the inside of the arch and then I'll spray foam over them? That might work, but you see how you people get me off on these tangents. I want this kitchen. This kitchen's going to have to be at least 12 feet. What do we got over here? Really, I want this line to be at 12 feet. I'm having this contradiction between this side of the house and this side of the house. They aren't jiving. But I do like this leftover space I would have of 1610 for this great room area. I think this house just isn't going to be big enough. And what I may have to do is make it 2 feet wider, because that's what I need right here. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to make this house. Which way are we going to do it? This is really, we're going to add 6 inches to this side. And I'm going to show, Mark, if you're watching this, I'm going to show you that it's going to be okay. I promise. And what do I want? I don't want to add anything to the garage. So I think what I'm going to do is make this 1'6". Well, that would be the same thing, wouldn't it? While I'm thinking, let's see if we have any other people. Wood timber prices are up here in the UK now, but people cutting the trees and the sawmills are getting no more money. That's true. That's a good point, Richard, because some companies are experiencing supply, production problems with people staying at home, but others are not, and they're taking advantage of that fact, and they're raising their prices. They're not taking advantage of it. They're using the laws of economics to their advantage. I guess the word advantage still comes in there, doesn't it? I'm an electrician, and I wouldn't take a Quonset house job. Maybe if it was, yeah. I brought up this to Mark. I was like, so when the fact that you have these huge arches, and you're going to have these huge open spaces, means that really, if you're going to heat and cool this space in here, this whole area, I never really finished the floor plan in here because we didn't get that far. But on his brother's, I don't know why these things, I don't know how they keep being in the way. But you can see here, this whole area here was open. So that means this whole area, as far as the volume of air to heat and cool, this is 19 feet tall. This is not your normal everyday living area, And so you take all this volume of air you got to condition, right? And even if you put your 5-ton, your biggest residential heat and air unit in the crawl space, and you're blowing air in here, you're going to want fans up here, to circulate the air. Because the air is going to be coming up from the floor. All the hot air is going to go up here. You're going to want to circulate that air through fans and also return air systems. And so my point to all that was, how are we going to mount fans up here? Because he wanted to come and insulate this. Now all these problems have been solved, right? But they cost money, So the guy who's selling you the Quonset kit on eBay isn't going to tell you about all the the money you're going to spend after you buy the cheap Quonset. And then the other issue is plumbing ventilation. Who wants to run a plumbing vent out of one of these? No, thank you. You could spend a day or so flashing around it and trying to seal around it, but again, don't ever rely on caulk for a sealant, for sealing out water. It's just, caulk is something you smooth out cracks with to paint. It's not meant to keep water out of your house. That's the biggest myth that was ever put on the American people. Where was I? I was going to make this house 32 feet wide. I'll keep messing with my production schedule. Now, it could be that Mark just says, no, I don't like any of this, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to do is, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to make this bedroom, I'm going to move this wall down for a second to here. And what's funny about all the technology that we have, I still like laying out my floor plans in 2 dimensions. This right here that you're seeing is a view. This is back to Layout, which is the software that comes with SketchUp Pro, and I'm not going to save this. But this is a kind of a viewport into the model, right? But look, it's still just a 2-dimensional floor plan that I've drawn, right? I've got all that stuff that's in these elevations, and again, this isn't anywhere near, but like this is a viewport into the model, right? And for the elevations, I do show the model as the elevation, but for the floor plan, I just show a 2-dimensional. Now I've screwed it all up, and I'm not going to save that because no, don't save that. But and what's funny about that is that after all the technology that we have, a lot of people are like this in design. They just like a simple 2-dimensional floor plan to lay out with. Why does that not look like 90 degrees right there? Something is wrong. Am I not looking straight down on this? Why is that? That is odd. That's bizarre. I could have sworn that that was not 90 degrees. I know what it is. And this is... I don't know how my lines keep getting... I feel like something is corrupt. I feel like my lines are not my construction lines are not coplanar. Something is weird. Something is weird. Anyway, and that's what can happen in a three-dimensional CAD software where you're trying to do a two-dimensional plan. Sometimes you think, you draw a line, and then you think you're on one z-axis, but you're on another. See there, that line I just drew that I thought was on the same z-axis or same z point level as these lines is not there. So you got to be careful. And normally what you're supposed to do is put this view on parallel projection and straight down, and then I'm going to check these right quick because I don't want to get way down the road and then come to find out something is weird here. 14 feet, 6.5. Oh, see that? Caught you, didn't I? That is amazing. I didn't get that line all the way to there, and that's what caused me to wonder what was going on over here. Now I need to cut that and get rid of that little booger. Something is still weird right here, I can tell by the way the lines are looking. Anyway, I don't want to get caught up in all that. I'm just going to lay this out roughly and see if I can't get this the way I want it. But I think now I can do this, and then I can make myself a hallway. And now I can change over to 4.5 inch wall right here, and then I can do my... I really only need about a 43. I have a door. When you're at the end of a hallway and you have a door, you need 43 inches for a 2.8. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is 43. And really, since the hallway's so long, let's see if we can get by with 48. Let's just try it. If I have a long hallway, I like to make it wider. And then see if we have any comments. Back, thanks for the advice, Tony. So just listen to the plumber. It was exciting to design the pipes with all the valves and the fittings. Yeah, it is. It's kind of an educational. And that's why I was asking why you want to do it. If it's an educational experience for yourself, if you want to learn why you have P-traps and, vents and what the codes are and what you need to have 1/8 inch per foot or whatever on your drains. If you want to learn all that, but when you get into kind of a production mode where you're kind of doing it for a living, you learn, and this line right here is not... Is that right? Yeah, it's connected. Why am I suspecting? Why is that line darker? See, in SketchUp, it gives you little clues because lines look differently under certain conditions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead. I need to start drawing some lines here. I'm talking too much. I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this over, and I should have brought that over to there. This to here. And then I don't like this long hallway, but we're going to do it for now. I had a long I had a long hallway like that in my last house, and it was fine. It's kind of long. Really need to do something to kind of break it up. And I will attempt to do that in some manner. Because what did I do over here? How was I thinking? So I was thinking there was going to be kind of a jog in it somewhere, but it's not working out that way. Because I think what I'm going to do is put the I'm going to get rid of these lines and start over with those. And I'm going to start right here and get rid of that. Kind of get it back to where I can think a minute a little bit. This, that's where I need to jog it. I need to jog it. I think what it does is it jogs right here. And it doesn't really jog, it just gets short. It's just not as long as I thought it was. Let's see. I usually have my headphones on and I listen to Starbucks music while I'm. There's a playlist called Starbucks Jazz or whatever, you know, and it's pretty good to listen to while you're working. Sometimes I'll listen to Barrett's. So we come in from the garage, we got our mud room, our utility area. This goes away, that's not right. That makes these rooms wider. There we go. Our hallway is really right here. And this house may be too linear, but I think so. What we want is an affordable option. And I want to go back to this 8-foot deep bathroom and closet, 4.5. I mean, it would grab them all, then drop them down. Let's see. I look forward to. Oh, I've got to go back here. I was looking at 3S King and VBO Popping Pro, and later it's pretty good, pretty cheap. It's extremely robust, but it's like 300. Is that like a? Does that go with SketchUp or is it a standalone program? drop GC extension would grab all those guys and base below it, make them all couple. Oh, I've got a tool for making things flattening. We used to call it flatten in AutoCAD. It was flatten. It would make them all coplanar. I mean, it would grab them all, drop them down to the face. Yeah, and we would just use 0, 0. We would use 0 as the. Yes, it was SketchUp. Now, see, you'd use that like once or twice, and you'd get bored with it, and you'd be mad that you spent $300 on it. And that's what always happens with me with software. The reason I changed over, well, this was like 2006. I changed over from AutoCAD to SketchUp was for the cost, because of the cost. SketchUp got crazy. And I mean, AutoCAD got crazy, and they went to that subscription service. How wide is this? 13.9 by. Yeah, that'll work. Let's just say we're gonna bring this. I was kind of wanting to get the. What do we gotta get? We only gotta get one more bedroom. I think what this is gonna amount to is I may be able to get rid of some of the length on the house. I think I'm looking at that right now. So then if we got 5 feet, that's for that bathroom. And then behind that we have a closet. Oops. So we'd have, this would be, 8'6" or so. And then we would have 4.5 there. So that closet would be for that bedroom. It's kind of funny because these things, I go through phases like that where I'll get interested in something, a certain something like plumbing, and then I'll get into it and I'll realize that it's cool, but it's not, it's not that cool, and it's not cool enough to spend $300 on. And what I try to do is, like, I worked out at a deal with Nathan Wilkerson, who develops these Medique. These are. And see, after about, 14 years on SketchUp, I've come to where I have this really short list of extensions. Weld. I like to weld lines together. And Medique's extensions for wall, truss, and foundation. And then I have that, 1001 tools. Here's my flatten. You see, this is what I was talking about. Enroth flattened to plane. See, and what I should have done was, if I wanted to flatten all these objects, I just pick them first. I don't use it that often. And then drag or select objects, shift. Okay. Daisy's home. So anyway, they were apparently already flat on the same. But, I remember when I first started SketchUp, I was just like, oh man, give me the extensions. I got to have all the extensions. And really, now I try to keep things as simple as possible. As simple as possible. That is the trick of life. 14.2, I like that. I like that. That's a bit big. We might give a little space back. Yeah, we're going to give a space. We're going to go, if this bedroom is this big, if it's 14.2 that direction, I can get by easily with 13'6" this direction. And I'm going to give all that space back to the living area, which it needs to be. Had a baby. And now this great room, it's getting to be the right size. This kitchen is a bit big. This is a bit big. But what we might try to do is work out a pantry, some storage here. That's what we'll try to do. But I just want to get happy with, I'm happy with all this. I want to get happy with this. And I'm not happy with how this cut down my master bedroom. But it would be weird to I kind of don't like a bottleneck when you first walk in the door from the garage. I kind of want to cut this off and then make the utility area as big as it needs to be. And then I'm thinking about pushing this. What I'm thinking about doing is pushing this and this and this 2 feet. Let's see. Yeah, see, 224. And that makes my master bedroom bigger. Now we're talking 15.9 by 16. Now we're talking. Now I don't feel bad about bringing this straight across here. Like that. And then I would just have, let's see, let me cut this out. Then I can go to the center of that and come back. 16. I really don't start cutting my doors in this early. I usually wait. But I want to start to visualize just circulation right here in this little hub. This could be like, what you could have here is you could have got your 4.5 inches, you got your 32. Yeah, this could be a little area where you had a bench or like an area where you put your your shoes and like you'd have a little, either a bench here, but you'd want this to be at least 4 feet. Yeah. And that, oh my goodness, that's what I got. You'd have, maybe it's not 2 foot, and you'd want to make sure that you left this angle here. We'd have to work out this little deal where I don't really don't want to get past that point, I don't want to, again, I got rid of the wall to create better circulation, so now I don't want to create another problem. And I'm going to come back to that. Sometimes I'll skip around a little bit just to go work out another problem. So now we've got plenty of space in here, almost too much space. Although we came 14 feet, See, we got way too much space here. That's why I was leaning towards maybe taking some space. $15. How long did we end up being? Yeah, we can take out, if we go 16 feet here, we can move this back at least a foot. Is more for like company that does the plumbing for HVAC for an Amazon warehouse. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're working for a big architecture firm or an MEP firm, and you've got to show conduits and all that, you have to deal with the BIM, the Building Information Management Systems. Yeah. That would be like your job, though. It wouldn't be. Your hobby would. I'm trying to think. Let's see, which side would I want my bathroom on? Let's have a little more fun down here for a minute so I can get off of the. I want this to be at least. Well, if we made this closet, say, 6 feet, what would that give us left over? 4.5. That's fine there. We can draw that line temporarily approved. Those lines are temporarily approved. So you got master bath and master closet. This is still bothering me a little bit right here. This little hub is bothering me a little bit. I got my closet for this bedroom. I got this bathroom. So this bathroom would be, where's my floor plan? Oh, I gotta turn off the roof. This, let's bring some stuff over. Tub. Let's go ahead and bring this stuff over. Oops. And we'll bring the washer and dryer over. Copy that, Roger. Car. Not sure why it wanted. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. And that's going to be flipped around. They may look at the garage. I may have made it too big for a one car. They just wanted a one car garage. The numbers on a MSI, the newer MSI laptops are weird. Sometimes I'll even hit the wrong number. That's what I was checking, that 4'6". I thought I had typed or selected 4'5". But what this does is allows you to have, let's say you misplanned your site work or your elevations and your garage ended up 2 or 3 steps down. Then you'd have room to have, if you had to just absolutely had to have a landing, which the code requires, and then and then you had a couple of steps, for some reason, 10, which would be 3 risers. Let's say, that still gives you room to pull in your garage and still be able to walk around. And then what you do is you have workbenches down here in this kind of landing zone where the landing is, like that. I'm not going to But what's bugging me about this is, let's say I come over 6 inches, and I've got a 32-inch door. Because I'm going to assume we're only going to have, even if you have one step, you have to have a landing. So, but your one step can be the landing. So, if that makes any sense. My problem here is, which way do I swing this door? You would almost have to swing it this way. Like that. And that's fine. I mean, that's no big deal, because this one would swing in like that. So, you come in, you got your coats, your shoes, your boots, your keys. That could even be a little desk with the thing underneath it. You know, or you go into the washer, dryer, utility area here, or you can come back in here. And the problem I've got now is I've got all this space over here that's really, I need to work out for how much square footage are we looking at? Let's see, I got it all segmented now. Let's see. Select all these spaces and see what it says. 1934. But that includes the garage. If we take the garage out, we got 1565. It's almost like well, let's just say we have a 36-inch deep closet for this. Where'd that go? Let's just throw out 36. Okay. How about just 36 inches? Not 36 feet. That would work better. And we had for the fun of it, we'll make it 36 deep. We're going to say it doesn't need to be that deep, but we're going to make it that deep for now, because we're trying to just kind of see what kind of spaces we have. And then if this room is 11, it needs to be at least 13 feet this way. So that's what we ended up with, that wall coming across. This is a space that we're ended up with. Extra space. Let's just say if this wall came across, let's say, just for the fun of it, to keep things simple, that's what we're dealing with. That much extra space, which makes me want to put sometimes I just like to look at the comments if I'm having trouble. But y'all aren't helping because you're not talking. Everybody left. It's okay, man. I'm working. This is the age-old problem you have when you don't have enough room for the trim for your, did I make that 4.5? Yeah. And you end up having to get a 21-inch vanity instead of a 24. See, we're going to make it another inch. There's the overhang. We're going to make that go back to there. You'd have just enough room for your trim on your door. Washer and dryer. Where's the washer and dryer? Put it over there. Over there, over there. Or you could put it, I like this better. Well, that's not what I wanted. Not that either. Okay, we're gonna get it to there eventually. That way your dryer can vent out the side if you want it to. But you could have a window or something, and then you could do your like a sink, a laundry sink, or a shelving unit right there. Whatever you wanted to do. And we still have this wonderful little area. Now in the kitchen, I was going to try to work this out to where How wide is our house? 32. 4 feet. 12 feet. Might be. What I might do is I might just put some doors in here and then go over this whole thing with Mark and then go from there to see if I'm anywhere near getting close to something he would like, he and his lovely wife. I have to have a bigger door on that closet, but in this room, I think the door would probably work better on this end. And as far as the bathroom door, it would be this bathroom. The only thing about this bathroom is it might be a little bit small. If we had to go, let's take our plumbing and put it over here. Move. And we'll put a vanity in here. Let's see, let's put this wrong thing. Let's put this here. We'll put ourselves a little wall. That leave us enough room for the toilet? Yeah, just barely. So what I might do is just for the fun of it, we're just going to stretch this here for now, and I'll fix that later. This is just kind of a rough layout. This space is still bothering me. So you got kitchen, living area. This could be, you could get by with 24. This would be a big kitchen. I mean, not huge, but good size. I mean, it would be big enough to where, let's see if it would be big enough. We had 36. Yeah, you'd have enough room for an island. Yeah. And if you had, you want 48 inches on this side, I think. And then if you went 5 feet, yeah, what you do is you do like a 3x5. Something like that, or 45 feet by 42 inches, something like that. And then you center it. Nah. Don't. Center it on that. That's just to indicate the kitchen, living area, bedroom, office, bedroom, office. Oh, we didn't, what happened to my I moved it instead of copying it. Dang it. I moved the tub and toilet instead of copying it, and nobody told me. Nobody said a word. There, and then this room, you could do, I mean, it would be a huge closet. What other kind of spaces did we have over here? We had storage, utility, entry, coat. Let's just say you needed a coat closet here. Let's make it 36 since we got plenty of room. Well, yeah. We could actually make this room a little bigger instead of just making it, and make this, that's 6 feet. We don't need that much room there. Let's say if we made this 30, let's say if we made it 48, and we brought this wall back, and then we made ourselves a coat closet. Here, again, this is just something really to have a discussion about. That's not big enough. You know, you can have coat closet here for your entry closet. This is linen closet storage. This is, you know, great room, kitchen, you know, master closet. Let's bring over some, we have some dash lines we can bring over. Well, it's silly, we'll just, that's why I always like to draw my doors in the middle of closets, because I like to be able to use the wall space to its fullest. And the way you do that is where is my, this would be floor dashed, there we go. And then do the same thing here. I'm used to, in AutoCAD, I was used to right mouse clicking a lot, so sometimes I still find myself doing that floor dash. There we go. That, and then you could have his and hers, you know, if you wanted to. Let's put this. Really, this doesn't need to be this deep. If it's going to be a closet, it could just make it And you could just go crazy with the closets if you want to. You could go, it's a little bit weird. This this may be too, this closet may need to be, I may be getting into too much detail. I may need to just go ahead and show a door here, and then I don't like that door being all the way in the middle though for some reason. Yeah, I don't like it being this close to the, I don't know why, I can't explain it. But, because I mean, you could put a bed and you really want room here. This door really wants to be, I don't know why, but it wants to go up 6 inches. Yeah, I like that. I like it better. I want to be able to have a wall here for a chest of drawers if I want to, either way, this way or that way. This big old room is going to probably have some decent amount of furniture in it, and this is your circulation right here. Boom, boom. So you got this, your wall for your bed, and you need another, really, that's why I want to do away with this closet. What we might end up doing, is making the bathroom is there's several options. You can make the bathroom bigger and then move this, just do away with this wall and have an offset in the room. You could do this just as a true 24-inch closet. I'm going to change all these faces to get them back to, I'm getting annoyed looking at those blue. The closer I get to being something I like here, this. Could just do this and do I wish there was a way to get what I really wanted, what I started out with, was this wall just coming straight across. I may need to make this, how big is this? 9. I need to make this at least. Well, I think what I'm going to do is get with him and talk about the layout here. Vanessa Kitty, hello. Hello, I like Quonset huts. I got to stay in a few in Alaska. Well, yeah, you were in the military too, right? I like the old time aspect of it. Yeah. I just don't like I don't like the fact that people think they're going to save money building a house out of one. It's misleading, because you're not. You're going to, per square foot, it's going to, I mean, this guy was going to spend $22,000 on just this roof, just this, turn this on perspective here. Just this kit, just this Quonset metal, the arch. That's all you're getting. You're getting the flat, the base plate and this, $22,000. This house that I'm building right now, I spent $26,000 on the framing package, and it is, where's my thumbnails. My computer's not wanting to. Do I have a picture? The simplest picture I could probably find is this one. This is an aerial photograph I took with my drone. I thought I had some better, oh God, shipping containers. I thought I had, why is it that when I want to show pictures, I never have any right at my fingertips? But if you watch the video on that house so far, I've spent $26,000 only on almost the whole entire framing package for it. And it is about this size of a house right here. So it may seem cheap. You might say, oh, I'm getting a building for $22,000. No, you're getting a metal roof for $22,000. Everything else is, it's just a money pit after that. But I like the concept. I just don't recommend them to anybody. And that's why I'm doing this, because if we're trying to come up with a floor plan now for just a regular house, and he won't have all. You didn't hear my rant about this whole Quonset thing in the beginning, Vanessa Kitty. You probably don't want to hear it. It's long and boring. But what I think I'm going to do is kind of go over just this rough idea, and with Mark, let's see if did he text me? Barrett, how does he place off again? I'm so proud of my daughter, Allie. She's high functioning autism, and she just moved into like a group home. It's not a group home, it's just like she has a roommate, and Barrett's showing me pictures. He helped her move in today. He's such a good brother. But what I'm trying to find here is, let's try to surprise Mark. What time is it in Idaho? 9:15. Idaho. He's like, I'm not answering the phone when you're live on YouTube. I don't. No, he might be out at his site working. But I'm gonna figure this out. What the goal for me really is to get this straight across and be happy with everything else. But in order to do that, I would have to work out. This kitchen is a little big. I could probably, there's two options here. As a matter of fact, I might just copy. There's a bunch of options, and that's the problem. Really, there's too many options. All these options keep you from getting anything done. Slow you down, man. What I'd like to do is get rid of all this mess. I don't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Control X won't do anything. What I meant to do was, I did mean to do that. Let's see, it's not that. sometimes I just have to move spaces around until I'm kind of happy with them. And this is, if this were, let's just say 12'6". And then this were 12 feet. This might seem extreme. It already feels extreme. Yeah. But what would happen is this would turn into an L shape like that. This would be your living area. This would be the minimalist approach to that floor plan. I don't think this closet is deep enough to put shelves all the way around like that, but it's it looks cool, so I'm going to put it on there. And this closet is this is a pantry. So yeah, I felt like the pantry. That's like a hall closet. It's not really a pantry. What I would do is I would have, if I go back to this scenario, I would have like a 3 foot, or 3 or 4 foot pantry cabinet, have all this. Your pantry would be part of your kitchen cabinets or something. So all right, well, I think I'm going to stop here and get some feedback from the owner. And this was my original kind of concept, or I botched together, cobbled together, some ideas or just some spaces, and then tried to work it out from there. And what I'd like to do is work out maybe a deck, depending on where it's true south, and I don't know. By the time he turns the house, there's a little bit of an angle involved. Maybe have a deck off of, the master or something, and then a deck off of the, this end of the house, something like that, or a porch, and go from there. This house is 62 feet long, and this one is 65 feet long. So, no other questions or comments? If not, I will. Kind of like this really becomes like a hall closet somewhere. Maybe you put a return air, if because in this scenario, this is really kind of too far away from the kitchen to be a pantry. So all that kind of stuff would be worked out over here, and maybe your grill or whatever, your cooktop. This cooktop looks a little big to me. I don't think it, yeah, they're not that, I wouldn't suggest one that big. Or is this a range? That's a range, isn't it? Yeah, so if I came over here and I just wanted to show, I got the range in the way. How long was that? 36, 30. I don't like this. I don't like this range-looking thing. It's gaudy looking, and I don't think it's real. But we'll leave it right there for now, and then we have our sink. I think the sink would be better over here. Somewhere like that. You have your fridge and your pantry stuff over here. I think we'll worry about the dishwasher right now. All right. I want to thank you all for watching. This video is mainly for my customer Mark and his wife. I think his wife's name's Pam. And I appreciate you watching though, because I like having the feedback and the back and forth. And we will see you next time. Next time you see a video on this project, hopefully the floor plan's worked out.